cardinal utility analysis. Well, what do you mean by the demand for good, right? So demand for good is at various levels of prices and a given nominal income. How much you're demanding, what is the quantity which you are demanding. All of us know this, that this is what you mean by demand for good. That is the quantity which the consumer can buy at different prices and at the different levels of money income, right? Generally, I mean, we have written at different levels of money income, but it should be like at a given money income. When you're drawing the demand curve, you assume only prices to be variable and all of the things are given, right? That's ceteris paribus condition. Now, one more thing you have to understand is that when you say demand, you don't mean just a wish or a desire, right? It means your ability to buy a good, right? Subject to his money income. You want to buy a good, and when you say I demand this, you demand this as in this is, you can even pay for this, right? So demand doesn't mean just a wish or a desire. So, and of course your ability to buy is of course subjected to the money income. If you look at the dx, your demand function, so dx is fx, dx is the function of price of x, price of other goods, taste and preferences, income, and so on and so forth. So all of the things, other things being constant, other things being constant. Right. Now, when you say that you buy a good, you're a rational consumer, right? And how much quantity of a good you will buy? Of course, given your money income and given the budget, you will consume that much quantity which will maximize your utility, right? So, and when will you buy a thing? When the utility from buying a thing is more than or at least equal to the utility from not buying a thing. You guys are with me? So when I say when you buy a good, it means that when you are buying a good, it means that the utility which you derive from buying the good is more than the utility which you derive from not buying the good, right? Otherwise, you will not buy a good, right? If your utility from buying a good is lesser than the utility from not buying a good, you will not buy this commodity. Clear? So, and how much of quantity you will buy? You will buy that much quantity which will maximize your utility, right? So you'll buy that much quantity which is going to maximize your utility. Clear? So, and there are two ways. First of all, one more thing, that what exactly is this utility? Utility is something which will induce a person to buy a good. If you have a utility from this project, or if you have a utility from this good, you will buy this good. So for example, if you think that this course is going to help you, it has some utility to you, you will buy this course, right? It is something which induces you to buy a good. Okay? And you know, in many books, when they have defined utility as a satisfaction which you derive from consuming a commodity, right? So this is what your utility is. Now, how can you measure this utility? The question is this, that what is the measurement of utility? How can you measure this utility? So there are two schools of thought. One is your cardinal school of thought, another is ordinal school of thought. So cardinal utility theory and ordinal utility theory. In this lecture, we're going to talk about cardinal utility. So cardinal utility theory was given by Marshall. It was given by Marshall, and ordinal was given by Hicks. The main point of cardinal theory is that utility can be measured. This is what cardinal utility says, while ordinal utility says that it cannot be measured. You can just say you get more utility from this, less utility from this, still less utility from this, and so on and so forth. You cannot say how much utility you derive. So for example, if I say I derive 5 units of utility from this pen, right? So this is what cardinalists are saying, but ordinalists will say you can just rank that this pen is giving me more utility than pencil. You can't say that the pen is giving me 5 utils and pencil is giving me 4 utils. You can't say that, right? In ordinal sense, but in cardinal sense, you're assuming that utility can be measured and it can give you a number, right? So cardinal utility says that utility can be measured. Now, it can be measured in units which are called utils, right? And this utils was originally derived by Walras. So utility can be measured in utils. That's one thing. The other thing is that what are the different assumptions of cardinal utility analysis?